Hey guys, welcome back to Day-Today Chess. This is Sabina. One day a little bit behind because I have been traveling to Rome for the first FIDE Online Women's Chess Championship, and the internet connection in the hotel was not that great. So finally I was able to get some access, and okay, one day behind, but I'm catching up, I promise. And of course, the tournament took place today on Thanksgiving Day, so I'm very thankful for having been able to participate in this event, for having qualified, and of course for being here. And I did not finish the last one, so that is a great achievement. Of course, I'm joking, but definitely I wasn't at the same level as the player, so not finishing the last is definitely a great achievement. And given that the best players qualified for this event, and we had many top players, it's great. So I would like to congratulate Harika Dronavali for having won this event and for being the world champion now in Blitz, in online Blitz. And of course, you will be getting a little bit more information about this tournament in the next videos. And as soon as I get back home to the United States, in about 2 days, I should be able to start analyzing the games and give you more detail about the tournament, how it took place, and hopefully I'll show you some beautiful wins that I had. But anyways, before we do that, let me try to catch up a little bit today with these positions that I had given you. I had given you 3 studies, and I haven't received any comment on them, so I feel a little bit bad about it. But I know the holidays are coming and everybody gets a little bit busy during this time of year. Plus today was the Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody who's celebrating it. And if there are any other events and of course celebrations around the world with different cultures, please, I send you my best wishes. Let me know what they are, so that I become familiar and more cultural aware about the different things. And so for today, let's get back to these 3 positions that I had for you in the previous video, and let's see how you guys did. So the answers are as follows. This is the first position by Kubbel from 1943, and what you had to look for here was how to try to win this position, because yes, you have a pawn up, but it's really well blocked, and it's going to be very hard in normal situations to actually start pushing this pawn and win. So that's why it is a study, and that's why there's just one solution to this, and this solution would be rook a4. The idea is, of course, white is threatening to capture in b4, and afterwards bishop e1, win this rook, right, and stay with the bishop and the pawn up, and of course be able to win the position. And what can black do? Because if you just move the rook somewhere, I don't know, like f3 or somewhere to get away, of course bishop e1 is still possible, and black is going to win the bishop, after which for white is going to be super easy to win. So the only move that black has in this position to try to hold on to the game is rook a3, because now, for example, if we're going to take in b4 and say, oh, I'm still well, this is actually the correct move, but if we're going to take in a3, let's say black is going to take in a3, king takes, and now king c3, and black is going to be able to save the game because you're losing the c2 pawn. So that's why not rook takes a3, but white has this move, rook takes b4, and after king takes b4, bishop e1 check. And of course black cannot go anywhere because he's losing the rook, and now the c3 square is controlled, so black has to play king a4. And now you had to find the best move of this entire study, and that move was bishop c3. Very beautiful. This rook in a3 is trapped, the king is in Chuzwang. If you move, you're losing the rook, and of course if you take the bishop, I'll just take back with the king, and of course winning the king pawn endgame. So this was the first position, and I really hope you solved it. It was very easy and cute. Let's go to the next position. The next position was a king pawn endgame, where white was trying to make a draw. if you're looking at this position, it might not be very easy to find the solution, because you're thinking, well, I cannot really push because he's in the square, and he actually is in the square, and there's nothing to do, and these B and D pawns should be, moving square pawns, so white should not be able to do anything. But in fact, there is a possibility, king d4, and this is the only move that makes a draw here, because we want to go king c5 and of course win the pawn and then the other one, and it's going to be a draw. So black is going to try to play d6 to control the square c5, so we cannot go, and of course we cannot go king to d5 because we know that we can never take that pawn. This one would go for a queen, so there's no point to go king d5. And in this position, white goes king c3, a very good move. And now the idea is, of course, we're threatening king b4 and taking in b5. And if black doesn't push this pawn, we're just playing king b4, take, and draw, because we are in the square of this d pawn. So that's why black goes d5. And here you have to be very careful. You can play king b4 or king d4, and only one of these two moves actually makes a draw. So let's see. The problem with king b4 is that black pushes the pawn, and after we take in b5, black goes d3. And the problem is the king is not in the square anymore, so has to go king b6 to try to push the a pawn and win. But here black can just go king b8, and after a7 I just go king a8. Your king is too far from the pawn, and black is just going to promote and win the game. So that's why king b4 is a blunder in this position, and only king d4, which does not seem a natural move, but this is the only move that actually saves the game because of a very nice and typical stalemate position. King takes b3, now king c6, threatening a7, so you can't just play b2 because I'll play a7, and when you queen, I'll queen with check. So black has to go king b8, now king b6, of course we push, a7 check, and now king to a6. And after this, no matter what piece black promotes, it's going to be either stalemate or bishop and knight won't help because there's no way to win, right? So this was the solution of this position. I think it's a very cute one, given, it's king pawn endgame. These are not very complicated, but you have to kind of figure out nice ways to save the game. Okay, so this was that position, and let's go to the last position that I had, and this was the position. And it might seem easy, but you have to be very careful with white. You can't just take in c4 because you don't want to make a draw, right? So this position is really easy in the sense that there's just one line that works, and you have to kind of go through the line and just make sure you're not missing anything. But this one was knight b6. Now, of course, threatening to take in c4. Black would go b2, because if you just play c3, obviously knight d5, and you're losing this pawn, and then the knight controls b1, the bishop can come defend the knight, and white is going to win. So b2, knight d5 check, king d6, knight c3, very important to stop the pawn, also blockading this one and threatening to take it. So black's only move is king c5. And now another very good move by white, knight to b1, blocking this pawn, but also preparing some kind of dam or something, just stopping black's king from actually advancing, and also the pawn, the c pawn, from advancing. And now black can play, let's say, king d4, but then we go bishop c8. And if you push the pawn, I simply can play bishop f5, controlling the square c2, defending my knight, and black has really no way to enter, because, for example, king c4, just bishop c2. And the position is going to be won by white. My king will just come, win your pawns, and mate you with the bishop and knight. And if after knight to b1, if black would try to play king b4, simply king b6. And after, let's say, c3, well, bishop d3. Oh, but I have king b3. Oh, no worries. I'm going king b5. And now you have to be very careful, because if we push the pawn, they're simply mate. And if you don't push the pawn and you go, let's say, king a2, well, don't worry. You still have two squares here. So I can play king c4, win your pawn, and then find a way to checkmate you. Just bring you to the opposite, to the same corner as my bishop, and checkmate you. So these three were the positions that I had shown in my previous video, and I hope my explanations kind of brought light to the things that maybe you still had trouble with, or maybe you solved them, so now you're just enjoying seeing the solutions, the correct solutions that you had. Either way, thank you so much for watching my videos and for sharing them with your friends. I hope you're looking forward to my analysis of this first Women's Online Bliss Chess Championship. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and see you soon in my next video. Bye!